Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, September 11th, and on this day 18 years ago, you'll never forget where you were and how it felt to watch America be attacked on our own soil, and then how it was when we all came together as a country to fight back. So never forget how you felt, where you were, and try to remember that feeling of coming together with your fellow citizens in these days of extreme polarization.
I was with you assholes. So
yes, we were close to the Pentagon, so we were trying.
We got a car, drove to the city.
Yeah, we were thinking about trying to get closer to
Don't know why.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're young and dumb. Yeah. It was sad day.
Get in there and clog up shit even worse.
Right. Just being stupid.
Where were you,
I
Wes?
guess.
I was asleep, hungover in the University of Kentucky. My roommate woke me up, and I think it's my mom called him. She's like, do you know what's happening in the world? I was like, no, I have no fucking idea. You just woke me up.
Well, then you.
But
did.
then went over to a friend's house, smoked a bunch of weed, just watched the news for 48 hours straight.
Pretty much.
Crazy.
Just dealt in your own way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it went. But yeah, never forget September 11th and the victims. So
Let's get the energy up.
yeah,
Okay.
Let's go on to the stories of today. Our top ones. Wes is going to tell us about John Bolton resigning or resigned or fired.
He got fired in the nicest way Trump knows how to fire someone.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I liked how the CNN headlines
So probably not that nice.
yesterday were it started with read Bolton's resignation letter, and then below that it says Bolton fired by Trump.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
Little bit of a mix-up there. Pat's going to tell us about the North Carolina special elections.
The last and longest election of the midterms, y'all. Finally in the books.
Wow, like a whole year later. Almost. Nice. And then I'll take us through a news buffet of other headlines. Take it away, Wes.
All right, in classic Donald fashion, Trump announced via Twitter that he asked National Security Advisor John Bolton to resign, which is, as I said, the nicest way that Trump fires someone. So basically, he fired him by asking for his resignation.
There's no way he doesn't still say you're fired. Like he might say, hey, can you resign?
Yeah,
also you're fired.
Under his breath, he surely does.
He might say or he'll say like resign or you're fired.
Yeah.
Like the or.
So he got the you're fired out.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So Trump said that he and many others in his administration, who he has not named, have strongly disagreed with many of Bolton's suggestions, and they simply could not stand to look at his mustache any longer. It was becoming kind of a thing that he just couldn't stand anymore, like similar to eating his peas one at a time or going, whoa, buddy, that was a good one after every sneeze. So this firing, like many of Trump's firings, was abrupt and kind of out of nowhere in the eyes of many. Just an hour before the firing, the White House press office said that Bolton was to appear at a press briefing along with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, whatever you want to say.
No, you said it correctly the first time.
Thank you. And when reporters asked Pompeo if he was surprised by the firing, he responded, "I'm never surprised." So way to keep them on their toes, Donnie.
That was kind of a challenge to scare Pompeo, right? Like now you better be like hiding in a closet trying to surprise the shit out of that guy after him saying that he's never surprised.
I mean, he's probably next.
The only thing that shocked Pompeo was that disgusting mustache coming through the door.
Yeah.
You think Trump was just like getting real worked up every time that mustache
It became
came
a
into the
thing.
room?
It became a thing.
Once you notice a thing on someone, it's hard
Yeah.
to not notice it.
Look at that fucking broom handle on his lip.
Especially for a nice, clean-shaven guy like Trump. Just
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
No body hair. on
opposite of
Trump.
what he thinks is correct.
Driving him nuts.
Yeah.
No body hair.
Yeah. So what's also hilarious about the scenario is, besides Bolton's cartoonish looks, is that he took to Twitter to expose Trump, saying, quote, "I offered to resign last night," and President Trump said, "Let's talk about it tomorrow."
Right. So I thought it was not amicable because of that.
Well, so it's like, I mean, sleep on it. Now I'm going to fire you in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and read you the whole resignation letter written by Bolton because it's really short.
Better be short.
I hereby resign, effective immediately, as Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs. Thank you for having afforded me this opportunity to serve our country. That was it. So,
I keep kind of thinking like, you guys know I'm a Colt McCoy, but I would love to leave or get fired from a really prestigious, high-pressure position because you're going to have a sick, better-paying job.
What do you mean you're a Colt McCoy?
I'm a total Colt McCoy.
You just want to be a backup?
I don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? I want to be part of the team for a little bit, but I don't want to actually. I don't want the pressure on my shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get a bunch of money like consulting.
He'll become a lobbyist or whatever. Yeah. It was short because he was pissed though, because he was like, okay, when you get being asked to resign is like somebody telling you it's not you, it's me, right? It's like it's nice, but it's not nice. They're still telling you to fuck off. Yeah. So Bolton was still pissed,
right? And then he just joins the list of other people that Trump has fired that way. So he's not.
You think they were like a gathering or a convention?
There's a lot. There could be. Yeah, they could throw a hell of a party.
Field a couple teams.
Yeah. So being a national security advisor for Trump is pretty much a death sentence. So this is the third national security advisor he's fired in his terms. So if you have like the word security, defense, or intelligence in your job, it's a death sentence. He's fired a lot of these people with those words in their titles in his first term.
But you're never going to know as much as him.
But why do you think an NSA advisor is so on the shopping block for Trump? Is it because
because he knows best?
Well, no, but like he knows best in every scenario. But like, why specifically?
Especially when it comes to the military.
It's because
he's got extensive experience. He knows what he's doing.
No, it's because there's a high level for disagreements in that position.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Acting National Security Advisor Hogan Gidley said that there wasn't just one thing.
Name on that guy.
Yeah, there wasn't just one thing that led to the firing. Quote: John Bolton's priorities and policies just don't line up with the president's, and any sitting president has the right to put someone in that position that can carry out his agenda. That became no longer tenable, so the president made a change. So, like I said, he just disagreed with the motherfucker a little too often, and he had to go. Reports coming from insiders say that Bolton and Trump got into a heated debate inside the Oval Office over Trump's decision to invite Taliban leaders to Camp David, and following that argument, Trump asked for Bolton's resignation.
I have a theory here, now that you're saying that. So obviously we know that Trump watches the news religiously and is so thin-skinned about anyone saying anything about him publicly.
Yes.
Everyone was pissed off about him potentially inviting Taliban leaders to Camp David.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, lots of people.
And especially through the media. So this is probably just a direct reaction to that. He was just his whipping boy.
Right. And then add on top of that Trump is a hotel magnate by nature. He does not like being told who he can host and who he cannot host.
That's true.
I like how you say by nature.
Any of his properties.
Yeah, it's not nurture. It's nature. He was born that
way.
way.
He's a hotel baron.
That's true.
That's who he is.
He named his son Baron. Yeah.
He
named his son Baron.
Yeah, as a baron himself.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's also believed that Bolton's
backfire for that little kid. Sorry.
It's also believed that Bolton's aides were making it look like Mike Pence had also voiced opposition over Trump's Taliban invite, which really chapped Trump's ass because that's my bitch. You can't have my bitch.
But nobody tells Pence what to do.
Leave my bitch alone.
My bitch was out rallying up the Christian base.
Yeah.
Just like I told him.
Yeah. So long story short, Bolton just agreed with Trump one too many times. He opposed them in North Korea, Afghanistan, how a man should present himself in public, with Bolton choosing to host a large white patch of hair above his lips, and Trump simply could not get behind it any longer. Trump says he will announce the next person to eventually be fired next week, so we will keep you posted. Going to the internet.
Okay.
What?
Not for real.
You know what he's saying.
No,
that was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. He's going to announce He's going to announce the next replacement next week.
That was Wes doing what he does.
Humor.
That's
right. Yeah. Let me just take a little sip of whiskey.
Sorry.
How's your tooth, man?
Soothe that tooth hole.
I feel like a Civil War soldier, just soothing my tooth with whiskey on the battleground. So going to the internet, Arlen Landy said, appoint Romney, get him out of the Senate and fire him. And then Chaser EK said to that, 4D chess. So he liked that move. He liked that move.
Not checkers.
Get rid of Romney by putting him as so you could fire him later.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then Maki Kuba says, the best news of the day, firing that warmonger. I fully support the wise decision of our president, America first. To that, Dick Luckert, with some suspicion, said, are you a citizen? So I guess his name kind of threw him off there a little bit.
Are you Maki?
Are you Maki Kuba? I don't know. So that's that. We'll keep posted on
defending the wall on Facebook.
I do want to point out, Maki, that you ended your comment with America first, and this guy got fired because he didn't want the Taliban to come to Camp David. Just putting that out there. All right, guys.
That's one of the things.
Let's take it over to the North Kakalaki special election. So North Carolina had a special election race yesterday for both the 3rd and 9th congressional districts.
Take your shirt off. Wave it around your head
Petey
like a
Pop,
helicopter.
motherfucker. And true to every other special election, where the reason behind it is because someone touched someone inappropriately or someone died or some other weird shit happened, these two are no different. The special election in the 9th district for the House seat that currently sits open is because of fraud in the 2018 midterm elections back in November. And boy, does the government move quickly. I mean, I've gone from fat to less fat to fat again. The whole time, this seat's just been sitting unoccupied, and 10 and a half months later, they got around to having a special election.
All because somebody funded his campaign illegally, right?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So the 3rd district was for an open seat left by 76-year-old Walter B. Jones, who's responsible for Freedom Fries, and also died back in February.
WBJ.
Yeah. Republican Greg Murphy.
His name's W.B. Jones.
Yeah, man. Walter B.
Old school name.
Walter B. Greg Murphy was declared the winner last night as he's taking the dead man's seat from Democrat Alan Thomas, a seat that Murphy will most likely be converting from orthopedic back to normal.
Those 3 letters just sound good no matter which way you say them. WB and J, JBW, WJB.
That's a good point.
They just
You got
sound
'em all?
great anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Nailed it. That's the 3rd district, guys. Let's now take it to the slightly or sexy, but still not sexy race in the 9th district. So a little background. North Carolina's 9th district was won handily by Trump in 2016 and has been Republican since 1963.
Long time.
And the fraud I referenced earlier that led to the special election had to do with Mark Harris, who was the Republican candidate, and he was paying for an illegal absentee ballot scam. And his ballot stuffing fraud, as you can imagine, led to him beating the Democrat challenger, Dan McCready, albeit narrowly.
Like barely, yeah. So he
Barely.
cheated and he barely won. So
Exactly.
And he got kicked out of
Which is like the worst kind of cheating.
Right.
When you're trying to win and you're cheating and then you end up...
You better kick their asses.
I know. You really
right?
got to... It's got to be a
It's like
landslide.
the Patriots when they killed the Colts.
The
right?
whole goal of cheating is to
Deflategate-
win, though.
Right. Yeah, so at least the Patriots crushed the Colts.
Well, luckily, justice
allegedly.
was served there. McCready's coming back for round 2 against Republican Dan Bishop or the race of the Dans. Side note, Do Anything to Win Mark Harris chose not to participate in the redo election, which he could have for some reason. That was a thing after getting caught cheating.
We're second chance country.
Exactly, but not because he got caught cheating, but because he had 2 strokes since the election, in addition to having memory issues, going on to say the 9th District deserved to have, quote, someone at full strength during the new campaign.
Yeah,
So,
somebody whose brain's not rotting inside their head.
there you go. So that's good for him. Maybe he'll forget he cheated and lost. At the time of this taping, the election in the 9th District was too close to call. But by the time you're hearing this, a winner probably will be declared. So
And if you followed our tip, it could be the Republican who was trading it much lower on predicted.
it could be. But back to the dance. So McCready, his motto is country over party. This is the Dem. And he probably has the edge because, he's been on the fucking campaign trail for 27 months straight, and he almost won the last election.
That is a solid advantage.
But he was fighting until the last minute. So on Monday night, he sent out a mass email through the DNC mailing list with the subject, quote, Trump just attacked me on stage. And I couldn't wait to open this email because I thought maybe Trump had gone back to like his WWE roots and had body slammed or maybe even DDT'd McCready at his Fayetteville rally.
Should have.
But when I opened the email, I was disappointed to find out that McCready meant he was attacked boring ass verbally, and he wasn't even there. So it was kind of fucking dumb. Yeah. McCready's a former Marine and probably would have won handily against Trump in a wrestling match, but then again, lifting 300 pounds over your head is really hard.
Trump's got size.
Yeah. The other Dan, or as he refers to himself as the right Dan, Dan Bishop is currently a North Carolina state senator in the 39th district and perhaps best known for co-sponsoring the North Carolina bathroom bill. Yeah, Bishop has the support of Trump during his campaign, with Trump personally contributing the maximum $2,000 contribution.
Get your identity out of my bathroom.
Exactly. What does it say on your birth certificate?
Hey, that's what Bishop wants to know. All right.
Yeah, because it's like truthfully, like it is like a whole scheme where like you would become transgender just to touch little kids, right? Like you would totally.
There
That's
are
what
people out there that would do that, yes.
That is what the
no
bill
one
is
would
fighting.
fucking do that.
They might not cut their penises up. They might dress like a chick to get.
Yeah, but
in
that's
there.
gonna be that's
They may
fucking,
identify.
that's temporary.
Yeah, you can identify though.
No one's
So you
going
have
through
to
their-
identify if you have to get your penis cut off to identify. No, you can identify with a wig,
Okay.
right?
You got your birth certificate on you?
We got a bathroom bill debate.
Let's get over it.
on. All right.
Anyway, I'm not sure Dan's going to be able to win this one. The right Dan, that is, as he calls himself, because I saw this weird-ass campaign ad that features him awkwardly addressing the camera in front of a sea of inflatable clowns that are donning the photoshopped heads of high-profile Democrats like AOC and Bernie as they sway back and
The
forth.
close-up of AOC is so great in that.
Yeah. At the end of the spot, Bishop straight body bags the majority of Congress by saying, "It's time to let the air out of these clowns."
Ooh, burn, Bishop style.
Taking it to the internet, guys. All the comments fucking sucked and were overtly partisan. So my burner account, Jason Davies, made a comment that I could read. Jason Davies says, "It's a Dan and Dan race, just like we expected."
That's nice. Dan to
Neck
Dan.
and neck, head and head.
Dan to Dan.
Dan and Dan.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Wasn't that like an Olympic thing back in
Dan
the day?
and Dave.
Dan and Dave.
You better believe I
Oh,
wished
okay.
it was Dan and Dan.
Oh,
I was going to make my
damn it.
whole story a fucking metaphor. But was it Dave or Dan? They didn't even make the Olympics. One of them didn't even make the fucking Olympics. Reebok did a whole campaign.
Yeah.
of
Wasn't
them.
that one of the ones that got AIDS too?
No, man.
They were triathlons,
like-
right? Triathletes.
Can someone do some research on this? Let's
We'll
move on.
see.
Pat,
Hey,
spend the next 5 minutes looking it up.
hey, before we go to the news buffet, we need to talk about you and getting your life insurance. I think
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So,
because you got that abscess tooth.
yeah, as I'm sure all of you know, I almost died due to an infected tooth last week.
Yeah.
Thank God that tooth is gone, but the fear is not. And truth be told, I barely survived. And let me tell you, nothing will make you think about your family like almost dying from a fucking tooth. That tooth was actually a message from above, and likely my years of atrocious dental hygiene that told me it's time to get serious about life insurance. And did you know that September is National Life Insurance Awareness Month?
I didn't.
Yeah. Most people aren't aware of that,
That's
just
a
like
made-up
you, Will.
fucking month. Man.
In fact, most people aren't aware they need life insurance at all. That's why 40% of Americans don't have it. Right now, prices are the lowest they've been in 20 years, and Policy Genius has made it easier than ever to get covered. So, like I said, Policy Genius is the easiest way to shop for life insurance online. In minutes, you can compare quotes from top insurers to find your best price. I know that's what I'm going to do later after my tooth heals.
Wait, no bullshit. You don't have life insurance right now.
I do have life insurance.
Oh,
yes.
okay, cool.
Yes, of course I do.
Thankfully.
I
You're
have
going to
He is
compare
a
rates
father.
on Policy Genius.
I have a child. I have life insurance.
Not a complete psycho.
Yeah, so once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape, and Policy Genius doesn't just make life insurance easy. They can also help you find the right home insurance, auto insurance, and disability insurance. If you need life insurance, but you just haven't gotten around to it, National Life Insurance Awareness Month is a good time as any to get started. So go to policygenius.com.
Best time, really.
Yeah, best time. Get quotes and apply in minutes. You can do the whole thing on your phone right now. Policy Genius, the easy way to compare and buy life insurance.
As soon as I get a car, house, or a life, I'm going to check them out.
There you go.
But,
Get that life insurance real quick.
by the way, guys,
You guys don't need it, let's be honest.
Dan and Dave were decathletes.
Ah.
Oh.
1992
One of them
Summer
had AIDS, right?
Olympics. No, man.
Oh, all right.
It was in the 90s, wasn't it?
In 92, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of them did. Okay, let's take it to the news buffet. As you already know, we've got another live stream coming tomorrow night for the next round of Democratic presidential debates in Houston. So not only are we going to be able to put bets on who gets the biggest bump or slide on Predictit.org, the stock market of politics, but we're going to get some nice mention markets as
This
well.
I'm fucking stoked on.
Right. So stuff like will more than one candidate say Sharpie after Sharpie?
That's a lot.
Here's what I love about this, just real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't choose this job covering politics for Barstool Sports, but I do it.
Yeah.
And I love gambling. And I got to tell you, gambling on a fucking debate
is fun.
It's electric to me.
It is very fun.
So-
'Cause all these close quick too. So you put the money down, you get it back right away.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, very good. So the mention markets, and that's more fun. Like, to me, I agree with you, Pat. The mention market's a little bit more fun than like who gets the biggest bump, who gets the biggest
Well,
slide.
sports got better when you could gamble on it, right?
Right. These are like props.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
They're
These
props,
These
yes.
are like props. Props for the debate. So like one would be like who will Sharpie be said by more than one person, or how many times will the word racism or racist be said, or will Beto O'Rourke drop an F-bomb?
Oh, I'm
on
going
stage?
hot in on that one.
No way he drops an
I
F-bomb.
mean, that's going to be a high payout because it's low odds.
We
But-
should. I want Predicted to throw socialism in there. I want to know, because socialism is going to be the buzzword of this.
Socialism
election.
word count?
Yeah.
Buttigieg is big on that one. He's going to say it like 50 times himself. So anyways, if any of the listeners out there have any suggestions for mentioned markets or possibilities, outcomes, please DM us, let us know.
We have this power. If we
Right.
get a good one, we'll make it real.
We'll work
Yeah.
with Predict It. We'll get it in.
It's a nice power to have.
Yeah.
And I feel like Marianne Williamson being out of it kind of like, because I'd like to
Makes it not a good debate.
Makes
Makes it less attractive to watch.
It takes a little bit of shine off it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Takes
because
the
she's just like
weirdness
the
out of it.
crazy lady from the left that was just, and I don't mean like her party. I just mean like out of left field that's going to come in with some weird ass takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can like wish the hurricane away.
Right. Or like
Positive think it away.
We've been inviting the stranger into our homes.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So yeah. Anyways, maybe we can bet on Andrew Yang's attire. Who knows? But if any of you listening have any good ideas, like I said, DM us on Twitter or Instagram. We'll work with Predictit to get those put in. And don't forget, go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20 to get $20 matched on your first deposit at Predictit. So up to 20.
Will Yang crowd surf into the debate?
Or will Beto wish that he got invited to crowd surf into the debate?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
watch-
so jealous of Yang right now.
So jealous.
He's so jealous of
He's
Yang
trying
right now.
to get Yang's vibe the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, this is what he wants.
Never could get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yang,
It's so funny to see Beto because we were first introduced to him in Texas. So like compared to Ted Cruz, he's the coolest guy in the room. You take it to a larger field of candidates.
right.
Yeah,
Yang-
something happened. I
Yang
don't know.
makes him look like a big nerd. All right, next up. Trump wants to wipe California's ass for them and help them crack down on their homeless population. Famously, San Francisco has to hire people to clean homeless turds off their city streets, and LA has a homeless camp that's so entrenched it's called Skid Row and has been around for multiple decades. Naturally, many, such as President Trump, see this as an issue. Not great to walk down the street on a nice city stroll and see three guys shooting up and gang banging a chick on a corner behind some crinkled up tarp.
Hold on. First of all, these guys are not. These guys they're not getting laid, Will. There's no gangbang happening.
Dude, there is homeless gangbangs, I'm telling you.
Some light
Imagine
blue
how-
crinkled tarp, just
Imagine-
shadows.
Like silver on one side, blue on the other.
Imagine
It's so
what a
crinkly.
homeless gangbang smells like.
It's so stinky, man. And like, yeah, it happens. Anyways, it's a big problem. And basically, Trump blames all of this on local liberal policies, because 50% of the U.S. homeless live in California. And he wants to kick the homeless out of the good areas, put them into refurbished public housing or new affordable housing. And I say, to me, they do have a huge homeless problem in California. They do need to do something about it.
Yeah, I agree, but blaming it on liberal policies. They live in California
Right.
because it's the nicest weather on the fucking
Right.
planet.
It's a little unfair.
It's a mecca for homeless people. I will
little
also
unfair.
say this: of those two cities you mentioned, San Francisco and Los Angeles, as a recreational drug user, they're fantastic cities. San Francisco, the only place ever in my life that someone walked up to me and I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna try to bum something from me," and then he was like, "Hey, man, you want to do these drugs with me?"
Yeah.
Never happened to me ever
you
anywhere
go.
else in the world. And then L.A. Look. If your first guy or your second guy and your third guy won't pick up the phone, you can get to Skid Row.
The homeless
and
are so
find what you
paid
need.
they have good drugs
Yeah,
in
it's true.
California.
I mean, really, they just want him to stop shitting on the sidewalks.
It's really the shitting on the sidewalk.
Shitting
Yeah,
on
it's
the
the
sidewalks.
shitting on the
It's
The
sidewalks.
shitting on the sidewalk.
It's terrible. Okay, next up, Secret Service. They had to arrest a man named Chris Grant who flew up from El Paso with his family to D.C. to be honored by President Trump as a quote-unquote hero of the mass shooting at the El Paso Walmart. Grant says he acted heroically by throwing soda bottles at the shooter and shielding off other victims. Thing is, El Paso PD says not only did he definitely not do that inside the store that day, but also he's got a shitload of warrants. So pretty hilariously, kind of hilarious. He got shot in the mass shooting, but he
not funny.
parlayed that non-fatal injury into a press joyride that saw him get praised by President Trump, Governor Greg Abbott, and Chris Fredo Cuomo of CNN.
He's a big thinker. He thought he could get all those things expunged
Yeah,
by
I mean,
President Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Kind of smart,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He took a shoot.
I think the lady doth protest too much in that he really should have called it at his press tour and not accepted the invitation to the White House.
Right.
He's too-
Where he knew he had he knows he's got fucking warrants.
He should have known Secret Service was going to be involved, and they were.
He flew too close to the sun.
Exactly.
Like Daedalus.
They checked with El Paso PD, and El Paso PD was like, yeah, this guy's a scammer. All right. And the Chinese have discovered the first verified repeating FRB, or fast radio burst, using the gigantic.
Oh God, Will, is this alien shit?
Yes, it is. They're using their gigantic fast satellite. It's a 500-meter wide satellite that they built on top of the mountains a few years ago. And remember, these are the things that scientists, they tried to pass them off as space volcanoes because they don't know why they happen or how intense they go off. And they say that, oh, you'll never know because it's a space volcano. Well,
Also,
guess what?
Just a cool thing. Cool.
We got a repeater.
Guess what? Yep. On the same day, they canceled Area 51, Storm Area 51, canceled it because it was going to be a menace to society or whatever. Now we've got a repeating FRB.
Hold on.
sure.
Hold on. Why, how did you not address the larger story here that they canceled Storm Area 51?
Wow, I don't know. I mean, like that. You think that's a bigger story?
You can't cancel a revolution.
Burying the lead there. I wasn't all about Storm Area 51.
I know you weren't. I was going to fly to
I'm
Reno.
more about this kind of evidence of shit that's pounding us from outer space.
Take that, Elon.
Yeah,
Aliens do exist.
Right. Elon now, definite alien, right?
Yes.
Because like he's throwing us off the tracks.
I mean, if anyone was.
Yeah. All right. And finally,
Him and Rihanna.
Why Rihanna?
Oh, she's just too good looking.
She's weird, man.
yeah, good looking and weird.
You think she would have let Chris Brown beat her up if she was an alien, though? No way. Chris Brown would be dead.
It's true.
Maybe he's one too.
How does he still have a career? I know what you were saying.
I don't know. And finally, the New England Patriots wide receiver, Antonio Brown, has been accused of 2 rape incidents by the same woman in federal court. Probably doesn't affect the Pats' odds to repeat, but it does feel good to put a little damper on that smug parade that was going on after they got Antonio Brown.
Yeah, the Pats don't even care because he's going to, no matter, you could be a rapist murderer and the Pat system will work it out.
Well, I mean, they had Aaron Hernandez.
That's
they
true.
tried to get him to play as much as possible.
That's true, yes.
I mean, he would still be playing if they could have gotten him out of jail.
Killed
somehow.
2 people.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor today. Tune in tomorrow for another Democratic presidential debate extravaganza.
And where's our
all
event
day
on
long.
Thursday?
Axelrad Beer Garden on Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time is, I believe, when we're going to be ready to go. 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern is going to be when we're actually going to launch the stream. So make sure you tune in for that. Tune in tomorrow morning to the episode to hear the debate preview. And most importantly, have a great fucking day.
And buy a shirt.